Hey guys, it's Powerbang here, and I wanted to bring to you a special defense-focused video on how to stop and defend successfully against surgical hog attacks. Surgical hog attacks are all the rage right now in Clash of Clans. Amongst the elite war clans, it's a very successful style of attacking bases, especially the anti-3-star bases that the higher echelon clans are facing on a regular basis. So in order to understand how to defend against surgical hogs, you first must understand how a surgical hogger is going to attack your base. So what better example to use than Drew from our clan, who is a fantastic surgical hogger, and I'm going to break down one of his successful attacks on this base. Once that's done, we're going to go peek at one of our guys' bases. It's going to be kind of a showcase on exactly how to set up your base that's going to discourage the use of surgical hogs. So first off, let's go ahead and do a quick scout on this base. And the first thing that you're going to notice is the queen is basically going to be towards the bottom of this map, and that's where he's going to enter from. So he's going to identify first off where he's going to place a jump spell to access her, and that's going to be right in this location. The next thing that's going to happen is he's going to determine, okay, I'm going to bring 3 golems, 2 to create sufficient tanking for an ultra wide funnel. So he's going to bring 2 golems right here, and then once those 2 golems go down, he's essentially going to make a very, very wide funnel. He's going to have wizards come into these buildings and take them all out. And what you're going to notice about those 2 golems is they're tanking the damage from basically everything on the bottom of the base. All of these defenses are focused on the golem on this side of the base. Now, all of these defenses are going to be focused on this golem. So they're, have the wizards have free reign to create this funnel, and the end goal here is to essentially send his heroes from the bottom of the map through this compartment towards that jump spell, where he's going to engage the clan castle, the enemy barb king, and the enemy archer queen, with the goal being to take out that archer queen so she doesn't wreak havoc for his hogs. It's a bonus getting both heroes down, because that king can hurt your surgical raid by just taking out 1 or 2 hogs. The raid loses momentum and can possibly be failed. So that's the goal. That's the scout. And then what you're going to want to notice here is the actual the hog deployment. The goal is to drop a giant first of all, and that giant is going to tank the damage for all of the surrounding defense buildings. Behind the giant are going to come targeted hogs. You're typically going to send 3 hogs per defense building, just like this. Now, when they move in, because all of these buildings are busy shooting at the giant or like the golem, remember, these buildings are tanked and they're distracted shooting at, golems and giants. All of these hogs will basically come in and wreck the whole first layer of defense without taking hardly any damage. That's going to allow them to get to the second layer of defense, which is back here, before really, being engaged by the defense. The same thing will happen on the top. You're going to have a giant come into the base, and behind that giant, you're going to see several hogs come in to target with roughly 3 apiece on the defenses, and take those out. So that's how to do the surgical portion of it. Now the key here is to understand how to heal this, because you only have 2 heal spells. So first we got to understand in the scout where the giant bombs are. Now those giant bombs can really only be in 2 different places as far as double giant bomb sets, and that is going to be 1 set over here and 1 set over here. Now these could be single bomb potentially, but we're going to go ahead and just consider the double giant bombs. Because you're going to send your golem and kill squad through this area, and there will be a jump spell placed on this junction here, that's going to do one of 2 things. It's either going to clear the pathing here, it's going to take out all of these defenses and create no reason for hogs dropped on this side to path over this way. And it's going to basically, once the wizard and the cannon go down, the hogs go this way around the base rather than at that giant bomb position. or troops leak into this compartment during the entry and they trip that giant bomb set. So one way or another, this first giant bomb position is negated. Now we understand that we need to drop one of our 2 heal spells in this position over here to protect our hogs as they detonate those bombs. Now, because they're entering the base going through these defenses here at the same time, they should trip these giant bombs one at a time, because they're going to stop on the side of each defense and trigger only the front one. And then as they go down, they're going to path forward to this air sweeper here and then trigger the second one. So the first heal spell we know will go on the other double giant bomb set, and the second one is going to go on the area with the most concentrated defense or the highest incoming damage potential, and that's going to be somewhere right around here where there's that potential for a Tesla to pop up next to the town hall. An air defense and an expo are excellent defenses to target as far as your heal spells, because those are high damage taking defenses where hogs tend to group up. So now that we know where to heal and how this attack is going to happen, let's go ahead and watch it. I'm going to speed up through the entry portion of it, because we all know how to drop a golem and drop some wizards behind. You see that happening now. In comes the golem in the middle to tank. Wall breakers come in, break the wall, and at this point I'll slow it down. The first spell gets used. It's a jump spell. That's going to open up the compartments here to access the queen and the king. Lightning spell comes down to take out the clan castle. The king then moves in, takes out the enemy barb king and the archer queen, and the friendly archer queen takes down the remaining clan castle troops. So on the top here, you'll notice a few things. The giant has already come in. He's right here, and you'll notice his health. He's about half full, and you'll see that this building here, this archer tower, this mortar, this wizard tower, and this cannon are all firing at that giant. The hogs, notice the health bars above them, they are taking no damage at all. The only one that's taking damage is right here, and that's just due to the splash damage that's coming in from the wizard tower. On the left side of the base, you'll notice that the archer tower here is occupied with this golemite. It is firing there, and the 3 hogs that have been sent into that tower have no damage taken as well. Now, this is going to basically prove very successful as they work through these buildings. Check that out. So, on the top, a giant comes down, and switching colors here on my marker, there we go. A giant comes down, and he's targeting the wall here, and his goal is to tank basically the damage from these defenses here while hogs are sent in behind. Now, this is where the realization of what is effective against surgical hogs kind of comes into play. The first compartment, if you'll notice, had the defenses butted up against the external wall. The same thing over here. These defenses have no room between them and the wall to put in any sort of spring trap or giant bomb to basically take care of initial entering hogs. So on this compartment, though, look at the difference, how there's some void space there between the archer tower and the outer wall. This section over here was very successful. The hogs came in, take out that first ring of defense with almost 0 losses, and immediately will move into the second inner ring of defenses, where they're going to sit in a heal spell. They will take out the remaining giant bombs inside the heal spell and continue to move through the base. The difference in the upper portion of this base is the hogs that enter to take out the cannon and the archer tower are going to hit spring traps. Now, watch how those spring traps affect those hogs' success rate inside that compartment. All the hogs go flying, and then there is not enough damage input to take care of the rest of those. So that's something that we need to pay attention to. So this whole compartment survived. 1 Tesla was taken out, but everything else survived. And this section over here on the left was completely successful. Both giant bombs were detonated. That means that all of them are basically taken care of. you'll notice on the bottom section that giant bomb is being detonated, and there is no path to get to the second one, so that section is safe as well. The only thing remaining is a heal spell to basically go in this compartment here to help the hogs through the base. But notice again that the defenses over here are butted up against the wall, and those hogs have no chance of going flying due to any spring traps. So we're paying attention to that, from an offensive standpoint. The hogs are standing in heals now, and they're able to catch up and swing back up to that compartment at the top and take out those defenses. Then they, continue to path through the rest of the base, and the rest is history. So this is a successful surgical hog attack, and now I want to kind of go into a base, and we're going to look at some things that you can do to defend against the surgical hogs. So let's go over to one of the bases I kind of tweaked with before the war, this war. We're going to go look at Lord Penguin here, and it eventually got 3-starred. Somebody, their number 14, had to come way down to take care of it. We're going to go ahead and do a base scout. Basically here, here's the base. And what we're doing here is essentially creating, an anti-3-star base. And the first thing that you want to look at is, wherever your queen is in the base. Mine is right here. She is kind of hanging out in her route. They'll patrol the platform. The easiest way to get to that queen is from this side of the map, and then the second easiest is this way. Going through the base from the bottom left is the easiest. It's one wall break in, and then you can hop over the wall. From the bottom right, it is a little bit more difficult because you have the town hall to work through as far as a high HP building. But let's analyze here what's good about this base from a defense against surgical hogs. Now, let's assume that the attacker, is using a 3-star strategy, and they're going to bring a surgical hog. And say they use, 2 golems to go ahead and, enter this base. And say they put one here and one here. And they basically are going to go, at your queen and break into the first, compartment here. They break the wall. And then say they use a jump spell here to access, this compartment here. So this is, this base actually absorbed 3 or 4 attacks this war, and this was kind of the most common location for a jump spell. The second one being was right here. So the troops are going to go in. They engage the queen. The first thing that you want to do is, in your multiple double giant bomb potential locations throughout the base, you'll notice, there could be one back here, there could be one here, there could be one here. Obviously, there could be one here. There could be one back in this spot. There could be one right here. And I believe, no, it doesn't look like there's enough room here, but there could be singles here. So there's a lot of locations here that you could have giant bombs. And the key is not to put, you don't want them in common entry points to get a queen. So if you're going to come in this way or this way, you don't want to cross the path of a giant bomb set. So what we've chosen to do is include the double giant bomb on the back side of the base, where it would be less likely for somebody to come. I mean, it's not impossible. It's never impossible, but you try to choose the road less traveled as far as your double giant bomb sets. So on your double giant bombs, you don't want 2 sets to defend against surgical hogs. And the reason for that is, if you remember, your enemy, your opponent, will have 2 heal spells, because they're going to use 1 lightning spell to take care of the clan castle troop, usually, 1 jump spell to access your queen, and then the 2 heal spells are going to come in as they enter the base. So if your kill squad is responsible, say, for this kind of area, all of this is taken out by the kill squad. They're going to either have to start on the bottom right with the surgical hogs, which is down here, and then kind of go around the base, or they're going to have to start on this side and go around the base this way. So what we've decided is, say we do our little entry, and we're going to come in from the right side of the base. So the first thing that you notice is there are a lot of defenses in this base that are off the wall, and you'll notice there's going to be a spring trap in front of them. And if it's not the first defense, it's between the pathing between the first and the second. So these are very, very critical components to the base design. And even as you follow the base around, you'll notice the spring traps are in front of defenses. Now it just depends on where they enter from, but all of the spring traps here are designed with surgical hogs in mind. And the goal here is when somebody sends in 3 hogs, they're going to send them from this angle, just like this, and they're going to come into each of these defenses. And remember what happened in Drew's raid, where the compartment had a spring trap? All of those hogs went flying, and that compartment failed. Well, if you're able to make 2 to 3 different point defenses fail, they've lost too many hogs to continue being successful, and they're going to have to backtrack. And by doing that, they're going to fail their raid. The benefit to a surgical hog is that you're coming at the defenses and you're taking them all on at the same time. That way, the defenses can't gang up on a particular hog or group of hogs. They're actually having to basically go one-on-one rather than grouping up and taking them out, kind of one at a time, having the help of the other defenses in the area. So the benefit is you can take more out simultaneously. The downside is you can't afford any losses. So what happened here in one of the raids, I'm going to show you. It's not a surgical hog raid, but it's going to demonstrate the effectiveness of the giant bombs. They do an entry from this side down here, and what you want to have is a double giant bomb set and 2 singles, and you want to make sure that they are not able to be covered by the same heals. So you don't want a heal spell to come down and cover 2 different single giant bomb locations, or a heal spell to come down and cover a double and a single. You want them to be far enough away where when for example, the troops are going to come into this top compartment here, the hogs, and once they get both of these buildings down and path into the air defense or path over to this wizard tower, that giant bomb goes off. Do you really want to leave your hogs unhealed with a max level wizard tower sitting right there? No. You're going to drop your heal spell to get those hogs taken care of, and then they're going to run over to this wizard tower and run over to this expo. Well, you've analyzed the base, and one of those spots is going to be a double giant bomb. Maybe we heal another one here as they head over to the expo and trip another single bomb. That just leaves no heals for the remaining hogs. Now the goal is to kind of have enough hogs get through the base, but you're just not going to have that when you put the spring traps in front of defenses on the outside of the walls or between the first and second layer. You're going to lose too many hogs, and when you split the giant bombs up and put one double, to protect against the standard hog raids, and if you put 2 singles and put them far enough away from each other, you're going to do really well against the surgical style attacks. Now, I can't control exactly what style of attack the opponent uses on what base, but I want to go ahead and show you guys a raid on this base, and they're going to go ahead and utilize hogs. But let's check out, the double single action, as well as, any spring traps and whatnot. And then you'll also see kind of a CC lure trap that's going to be pretty cool. So we'll check this out. All right, so here's the raid. He's going to come with a hog attack, and he's down his queen, but this is their number 11, dropping all the way down to hit number 26. So we'll go ahead, play the raid, and you're going to see the entry come from more or less where we assumed it would. Drops some hogs into the top to try to get an easy lure, and fails. The Tesla pops up, prevents him from getting into the CC radius, and he's going to have to burn more hogs than he wanted to here. He sends them in to target that mortar. In hindsight, it might be a good position for a spring trap there to put at that mortar. But outcome, a drag. That's obviously not the thing you want to see. But because he does a lure, he's able to basically take care of that. We'll go ahead, fast forward through that. He drops his wizards and witches, takes care of the dragon. But like we said, here comes the golem, and his goal here is to enter in, get this wall break done, and then drop the jump spell into the queen compartment. So wizards go ahead and create the funnel. The king comes down, and the jump spell goes down here, and the enemy king is going to start, banging on the barb king here, and I don't know that he gets it. Yeah, he does get it done. So comes in, he does take care of the queen just barely, but check this out. Giant comes down to shield on the backside. The hogs go flying on the spring trap. I don't know if you guys saw that, but as soon as they hit that cannon, they go flying from the spring trap. Now watch this. They set off a bomb. The heal spell comes down to preempt, that heal. So we've already forced out one of the heals early. In come the hogs on the next one. You see the second giant bomb trips, and he's forced to burn another, heal spell. They take out a significant group of hogs, and then they trip another giant bomb, and then another one on the left side. Now, it almost takes out his whole group of hogs there. He has a wizard tower that's, focused on that group, and, had he been any later with those heals, that raid is done right then. But notice here how much of this base is left. Lots of point defense, an expo, and 2 wizard towers, along with a lot of spring traps to deal with, and all of his heals are gone. Literally, his heals will be done, and he has more than half the base to deal with, and his hogs are, already low. So this raid is essentially dead in the water at this point because the heal spells were forced out by the multiple positions of the giant bombs up top. So the skeleton traps are tripped. They're banging on the skellies. The heal spells have already worn off, and you'll see that wizard tower is doing work. The hogs are trying to get through the base, and they are just petering out at this point. Absolutely nothing left. The queen did not get taken out, and she goes ahead and cleans up the last couple hogs. So that's all she wrote on the the attack there. You noticed what happened with the bomb positioning there. That's what would really hurt a surgical style raid as they come in. Again, we'll just look at this base and kind of analyze where exactly those traps are. Now notice that they could be in front of any of these defenses because they're off the wall a little bit, and that makes it very difficult for somebody to drop in hogs surgically to a base because there's such a good chance of those hogs going flying on entry. The last little thing to remember is add 1 double giant bomb and a couple singles. You can put those singles wherever you want. They could be where I had them. Don't put them on the outside like in this position because then you can trip them with 1 hog in advance on a cleanup attack. But make sure that, if they're going to be able to trip them, that it's a significant investment. Like they need to send, maybe 5 or 6 hogs from here to get through both of those defenses and then trip that bomb. Just make it so it's not an easy trigger. So, another one could be, in this position here. Another one could be over here in this position or by the town hall. There's a lot of different things you can do. But split up the giant bombs, 1 double, 2 singles, and make sure that the positions that those bombs are in cannot be covered by the same heal spell. If you do that, you're going to see your chance of defending against Surgical Hog skyrocket. And if you use your air traps accordingly, it's going to be real tough to Laloon as well. So hopefully you guys have found this helpful. Surgical Hog, again, like I said, is super popular right now, and I wanted to put out something that's going to help you guys fight it and be successful. So hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. This is Powerbang. I'm signing out.
Thanks so much, guys, for checking out my video. If you feel like you learned something here today and you're a better attacker for having watched it, your clanmates will probably feel the exact same way. So do me a favor, share this video with them, get them to the channel, and chances are your clan's going to be exploding for 3 stars from top to bottom before you know it. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.